Hello everyone. Now I forgot to mention this in the last episode, but every BBM from now on is going to have a ranking scale. It's going to be one of three things. Pretty solid, average, or not worth watching. We haven't had a truly not worth watching episode since like episode 65, so we're doing pretty good in that regard. So I would count on most, if not all, episodes in this day and age to be at the very least average. Also, I've been getting pretty lucky on releasing episodes lately. This is the 6th one in the past month. That's incredible. I want to count on this ball rolling forever. Episode 102, if I had to guess, is going to come out in April or after that. It's just been luck so far, and these ideas are coming kind of quickly. It's kind of a growth spurt, if you want to call it that. But anyways, we need to get on to the episode. I'm sure you guys are aware of this, but we now live in an era where we don't have to just go left to right in a video game. You can now go literally anywhere, depending on the game. Like in the subgenre of video game known as open world, we can go anywhere at any time, basically. That's incredible. I do like the idea of being able to explore and play the game basically any way you want to play it. Like, are any two Breath of the Wild playthroughs the exact same? Probably not. And I'm sure millions of people have played that game. However, what a lot of developers don't seem to realize these days, it's not about how big the world is, it's about how fun the gameplay is. You gotta keep in mind that the larger your world is, the harder it's gonna be to cram it all with fun stuff, you know what I mean? There's like tons of open world games with large patches of just nothing, like barely any quests whatsoever, just boring parts of the game. So you gotta be careful how large you make your world. That's when it comes to handmade. There is an open world game that is huge, like huge. In fact, it's infinite. Minecraft. Now Minecraft is randomly generated. Basically, people have designed the textures and the blocks, but the world itself, the seed or whatever you want to call it, places the blocks at random. So technically speaking, yes, this can be infinite because it's not made by hand. It's a computer just placing blocks at random, and the further you go, the more blocks it places. Like for example, in my main world of Minecraft, I was walking in a straight line, or I don't know if it was straight, but basically I was walking pretty far in one direction, and I saw a tree next to a lava pit. Now, I had been on here for several days, but only when I discover this tree doesn't start burning due to the lava being right next to it. Because it wasn't there before. The world is building itself the further you walk towards it. Why would it all be generated at the same time? It would not work like that. I'm sure it would be laggy as hell if that's how it worked. Depending on your render distance, yeah, it's only going to build the world the more you explore it. It's not going to all be there from the beginning. Alright, well that is pretty cool, except you gotta remember something. Infinity is a pretty strong number. I don't even know if it's a number, because it doesn't really have a true value. The only things that can be truly infinite in this world is the amount of numbers and love. Those aren't physical things, right? So, what I want to explain today is, there's actually a certain number of combinations that blocks can be placed in Minecraft. Sure, you can keep walking the same direction forever and it'll always keep generating new terrain and stuff, but remember, there's only so much a game can handle. And well, this wasn't as hard as I was thinking it would be, but you should still thank me for doing this. I actually counted all the things that were in the game, like all the items. This wasn't nearly as time consuming as I thought it would be. I just had to multiply the column by the row and get the number that way. So I have come to the conclusion, at least in March of 2022, in its current update, there are 1,385 items in Minecraft, as of now. Now, not all of those items are blocks or decoration or something. You know what? A lot of those blocks need to be crafted. There's quite a few blocks in Minecraft that aren't natural, that don't just come with the world. So that's gonna decrease our number even less. But let's just assume that every block can come with the world itself, even though that's not true, but whatever. So I counted how many of these things could be placed down in Minecraft. Obviously, mobs don't really count as blocks, they move and stuff. And certain items don't count either. So what are things that can be placed and actually stay there? Well, I counted those, and I'm not sure if this is the exact number, but I want to say roughly 847. That's what I think I counted, but I can't say for certain. So as of March 2022, that's roughly 61% of all the items in Minecraft can be considered blocks, or something similar to that extent. Okay, now, you can go north, east, south, west as much as you'd like, but the y-axis is limited. There's only a certain number of blocks you can build upward. The X and Z, as far as you want. It'll keep generating blocks in any of those directions, north, east, south, west. But when it comes to the y-axis, only 256. From the very bottom, the void, all the way to up there. Now, I saw some videos on YouTube that are saying I built to Y319, and I'm like, did they change the limits to how high you could build now? Maybe they have. I haven't played Minecraft in like 6 months on my Switch, and it did have to update whenever I plopped it in today on March 10th to make sure that I can do this experiment correctly. But we're just going to say it's 256. Because that's one of those numbers that if you keep multiplying smaller numbers by enough, you'll get to that number. I don't know where they got 319 from, but anyways. So, I have done the math. We gotta multiply 847 times 256. We get about, and this is not gonna be exact, but the number is 216,832. If I am doing this correctly, which I believe I am, that's the total amount of block combination placements, whatever you want to call it, in Minecraft that is possible. Of course, they'll keep updating the game and add more blocks and stuff to it, so that's destined to change. But as of now, there's only so many different places a block can go, and there's only so many different kinds of blocks. It's a huge, huge number, sure. In fact, it might even be more than that. I don't even know if I'm doing the math correctly, but you gotta remember, it's finite, not infinite. And also, there's this point right here. Minecraft is split into 3 different realms. The overworld, the nether, and the end. There are some blocks that are in the nether that you will not find naturally just lying around in the overworld, the world you spawn in. Same thing goes with the end. This kind of goes with my, not every block is naturally placed there when creating a world theory, or not a theory, I'm certain about that. But basically, yeah, so I don't know how many combinations of blocks can be placed at wherever, but it's probably even less than 216,832. And you know, I don't know how many Minecraft worlds have been created. I'm sure millions of people play the game, so that's at least millions of worlds. But we're bound to find some worlds that are pretty similar in layout to other worlds that other people have created, right? Some people have literally just spawned on 1 block islands that are just 1 block above the water, and for miles and miles and miles there's nothing but oceans. I wonder how many times that happens. Probably not that much, but I'm sure it's happened before, right? Just keep in mind that Minecraft, yes, technically you can walk in one direction as long as you want to and still come across new territory, but it's not truly infinite. Well folks, this is this episode, and I will see you guys next one. Goodbye.